Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this end of the year event from Test.io. Yeah, for all of us, I guess it was a challenging year and a year that was dominated by the coronavirus. And yeah, nevertheless, we are thankful and lucky to have also experienced a lot of positive things. A lot of friends told me it was one of their most successful years of all times, and yeah, I think it's yeah, despite the circumstances, it was the year also had its positive sides. It especially had some positive aspects for us as a Test.io community. And with this event today, we want to look back at what happened this year and we want to give an outlook for next year. Yeah, now please go ahead and click on watch stream. Then you will be able to see the presentation that we prepared. So I hope it works for all of you. It does work for me. So Angelica prepared this event today. Thank you for doing so. She, yeah, despite being kind of new to the team, Angelica does pretty well at organizing events, and yeah, she does it in a very enthusiastic way and is very passionate about our community in very short time. So we have a good variety of speakers today. In the beginning, we will have Phil. Phil immediately said yes, and he even interrupts his vacation today for yeah, for saying a few words about his own personal story, and yeah, and maybe he can also give a small outlook for next year. Then we will have Evgenia speaking about her new responsibility as a product manager, and she will also give an outlook and summarize what happened in 2020. Then Marcus will be yeah, will be speaking as well, and I will lead you through the show. Yeah, this is the agenda for today. Yeah, Marcus is one of the responsible persons next to Olga for our team leaders. And Chenya, like I said before, is now has now responsibilities as product manager for the tester side of Test.io. And yeah, at the end, we will also have time for some questions. If you have questions for Phil that will speak in a second, please share them in the text channel below, in the event channel. Phil will have time for answering one or two questions. Okay. Yeah, Phil, great to have you with us here. I know you're very passionate about our community. You even remember some testers. That's yeah, pretty amazing. And you always understood how crucial the community is for our business. And yeah, Phil is also looking for new, yeah, is looking a lot for new customers, for new ways of testing, for new opportunities for you, and always has you as testers in his mind when he thinks about new opportunities. Phil, over to you. Oh, Phil, I cannot hear you yet. I guess you are still muted. Oh, now you should be able to. Yeah, Phil, now over to you. Hello, Phil. So seems we have some issues. But the rest of you can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Phil, are you with us? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it the following way. We will wait until we have fixed the issues, and yeah, let's move over to Evgenia. We heard your voice before, so you are able to speak and you are able to present about product topics.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan, for the introduction. And yeah, today I'm going to highlight the changes that we introduced on our platform in 2020, the important events that took place, and also our plans for the future, updates, and future perspectives in 2021. A little bit, just a few words about it. But just a small announcement, tiny announcement, like Stefan mentioned. You probably noticed that I haven't been so active in Discord anymore and not so active in social activities. That's because my changed at Testeo, my role changed at Testeo. Now I'm responsible for the product changes. So if you have any feedback about the new features and updates that we're introducing, you can directly approach me and I will be really happy to hear your thoughts. So going to the outline of the most important changes introduced on our platform in 2020, I would like to start with the activity dashboard. And I think it was a very important update for us because you have been asking us for a long time, and sorry for taking such a long time to have a place for to have an overview of all the activities you submitted, to be able to track your progress, to see the mistakes that you've made, the achievements, and learn from it and improve for the future. And this is how the idea of the activity dashboard was born. And we try to incorporate all the needs that you expressed for such a page in this activity dashboard. And I hope you enjoy using it. I must admit, I used it a couple times as well myself, and I find it very handy. So on the activity dashboard, you can see some statistics and the charts of all of your activities. And if you change the filters, you can also track the progress, learn from your mistakes, and learn how to improve and praise yourself on the achievements as well. If you click on show details, you can also see individual entries of the specific activities. If you need to take an action on a certain activity or just remind yourself of some details. So I hope you enjoy using it. The next important update was the activity. It's not on the slide here, but I wanted to mention it as well. The tester ranking, and you've probably noticed that the new tester ranking now includes the activity, not just your performance, as well as the performance. So the more active you are, the higher chances of you climbing on top. Our ranking is also running in seasons, which means that every one of you newbie greenhorn can have the equal chances of climbing on top and achieving the great results. We're also awarding the winners of the seasons with special prizes, and we will do it on a 2 monthly basis. You can also see your own rank, and that's how we wanted to include all of you in this ranking. Talking about some smaller changes, opportunities is one of them. So now on the tester dashboard, you can not only see the tests, but also the what we call opportunities. We've noticed that with a growing customer base and with new opportunities that we have from EPAM clients, is that we have more and more projects with special requirements. And with the help of such opportunities, it's easier for us to find appropriate and suitable candidates for special projects, and it's easier for you to have an overview of what kind of projects we are running at the moment. This year we also introduced two learning courses. This is bug reproductions and user stories. In these courses, you can learn details about these tasks on our platform. You can unlock these tasks to perform it in our tests. And in the new year, we will be introducing more and more tasks, more and more courses of this sort, not only connected to tasks, but also more general courses. Another update that we have been working on, which is less relevant for you, but I would also like to mention it, is the new modular onboarding system that will enhance our onboarding process and will allow for more qualified people to enter our community and enrich our already diverse community even further. Yeah, and going to the next slide. I would like to use this opportunity to highlight the feature request dashboard that we have. You can see the link, how to access it. And this is the place if you have any ideas or feedback about the existing ideas that were submitted on this dashboard. We will please post them here. We are reviewing it on a regular basis, and we're very happy to hear your ideas because you're the ones who are using our platform, and we really appreciate your creative and very useful ideas there, and we try to implement the most popular ones. So these are the most important feature updates on our platform, but I would also like to mention one of the events that I believe in this hard year of 2020, where there was a lot of challenges for us, pandemic, isolation, changes of workflows. But nevertheless, we remained community, we supported each other, and thank you all for going through all this hard time with us. And one of the events that showed us how much of a community and how supportive we are to each other was the Testing Cup 2020. And I would like to say a few words about it as well. So it was a challenging year, but we also managed to achieve a lot, and we showed ourselves as a very joint community. And in 2020, we ran this first testing competition, the Testing Cup, where we had 17 teams signing up who were from different countries, very diverse, from different walks of life and nations. And we did what we do best. We did the testing, and it was so much fun. And I hope this year, we will also be able to host such an event. And then ranges, the winners will have to defend their status of ultimate testing champions. And we will have as much fun as we did last year. And the most important learning for us was how well you perform and what kind of outstanding results that exceed all our expectations you can deliver once you bond and you work together, you work as a team, you improve each other's bugs, you divide the roles, and you work together on the common role. And we will definitely think about how implementing this and take advantage of this learning from us as well in our work as well. So that's it from my side. And I would like to wish you all happy holidays. And I hope that the next year will be kinder to all of you, and stay safe. And I hope to chat with all of you next year.
Great. Thank you, Jenya. Yeah, there was the slide about the testing cup. You can show it for a second. Yeah, it showed a lot of the teams that participated, or all the teams that participated. It was crazy. We had so much demand. It was such a popular event among all of you. And yeah, the whole company was hyped to see you competing in a different way. It was a pretty interesting experience for us, and yeah, great event overall.
Yeah, agreed. It was so much fun, and I hope you also enjoyed it. And it was also great to see even people who were not involved in the teams. Every Saturday, you all were waiting for the updates and tracking the progress of the team. So it was a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah. Great event overall. Phil, think I have solved the technical difficulties on my end. It was not your fault, so happy to try it. Are you with us, Phil? The audio does not work, sadly. Maybe you are still set on push to talk.
Me now?
Yeah, now it works.
Does it work now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went off of push to talk, and you gave me admin rights, so now we should be good, right?
Yeah, it should be fine now.
You can you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is somewhat anxiety producing to be using a new platform for me while talking to what appears to be the entire world. So thank you very much for taking the time, first of all, to come and join us today, but more importantly, for everything that you've done in this terrible year of 2020. So the funny thing about 2020 was that while it was a terrible year in almost every way, it was actually a really good year for Test.io and for our business and for the level of commitment that everyone in the organization, testers and team leaders and customer success managers and everyone involved at Test.io showed to what we do. It was absolutely extraordinary. And I'm so grateful to all of you for all of the work that you've done and all the time that you've put in this year. And I only hope that for next year we can have the same kind of business success that we had in 2020, but also with health and safety for everyone. So again, thank you for that. A little bit about what happened behind the scenes in 2020 so that you understand some of the context is that EPAM, which bought Test.io in 2019, really started to invest more in our company. So they allowed us to bring on board an actual community management team. So instead of just Stefan and Genya, it was we were joined by Olga, by Anwar, by Angelica. So we really had a lot more capability to do a lot more work on your behalf. And I think that made a huge difference. And so one of the things that we're really excited about for the upcoming year, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but we're really excited about the different kinds of opportunities that we will be able to bring forth for our community team. Because in the past, we've had a lot of exploratory testing opportunities, but it has sort of stopped there. I mean, not entirely, as you know, but the variety of different kinds of opportunities has been fairly limited. But in the future, that will be less true because now that we have a team to manage it, we have a team to go out and find those opportunities for you. We're really looking for a more diverse set of things for folks to do. So I know that some of the people in our community have a lot of experience in software testing. And all kinds of new opportunities will be interesting for them. Some of you probably don't have as much experience in software testing, and maybe the different kinds of opportunities that we make available will allow you to learn and try different things and see what you like. So let me give you a little bit of background about myself and how I got into the technology industry because I hope it'll help you understand why I think the opportunity to try things is so important. So, in the 1990s, when I was a younger person, I was in graduate school getting a PhD degree, believe it or not, in history. And the academic job market at that time was not terribly good for people getting history PhDs. And so I began to wonder what other stuff I might do with myself. Now, as it happened, while I was in graduate school, I had written a program to to take notes on the things that I was learning, and it was a database application, and I started to distribute it over the internet for free, and I asked people to send me $10 or something if they liked it. And this was when the internet was a pretty new thing; not everybody had it, and so I became, I think, one of the first people to start distributing an application for historians on the internet. And after a while, I started staying up all night and working this application. And I decided that if I was going to my time on computers, I should probably go get a job in the software industry, because then I could earn enough money to live on, which was hard to do as an academic. And so I set out to look for a job, and I sent out a whole bunch of resumes, and everybody who got back to me said, "Well, you look like a smart guy, and thank you for applying, but you've never done anything with technology." And I would say, "Well, I wrote my own database app or whatever," but they didn't actually give me any credit for that. And so it was actually really hard to break into the technology industry in any way. Barriers to entry seemed really high. And the only reason that I got in was that, one person who read the resume said, "Wow, that's really interesting. You had you'd written this first database application for people taking notes in history." And I managed to talk my way into that job. And then the first thing that I did when I got to this company, which was at the time about 12 or 15 people, was it was my job to make the software work, because it was new software and it didn't work very well. And every time I tried to do anything with it, it was bug after bug after bug after bug. And so I suppose that my first job, in my first real job in the software industry, was basically as a tester. And then, as it turned out, my job became to try to paper over that we had all these bugs, so that we could demonstrate this piece of software and then sell it to other businesses. And so instead of actually fixing the bugs, I would write demo scripts and sort of recode some of the pages to avoid showing the bugs. And sometimes this actually involved demonstrating the software with a big JPEG on the screen instead of the actual output of it. But we were new and we were trying to work, and I knew the engineers were going to be fixing it, so I just bit my lip and went on and did this. And eventually, after quite a while, they did fix the software. They made it better, and we were able to sell it, and all kinds of good things happened. And that's how I got the job. But a couple of things I take away from this. One is that it's really important to be able to have your first opportunity doing something. And as much as you might want to do it on your own or even start your own thing, it's great to have people to do it with. And once you've had that first opportunity, it's a lot easier to get other opportunities. So I'm really glad at Test.io that even for folks who don't have a deep background in software testing or in the software industry, we are able to provide opportunities. The second thing that I learned, and I think this is also important, is that testing of software is actually a really great way to learn the software business and learn how a piece of software works, and learn how it can be made better. So anything that you might want to do in the software business, whether you want to be a programmer, or whether you want to be a user experience designer, or whether you want to be a product manager, or really whether you want to go on to different forms of software testing, starting with functional testing is a pretty darn good path. And so I feel that the kinds of opportunities that are available through Test.io will be good ones for you, no matter what you want to do. So whether you're a novice and you're just starting out, or whether you've got some experience, I hope that we can provide things for you to do that are stimulating your brain and help you on your life journey, however that will be. So let's talk then a little bit about what we're working on in 2021. So maybe the best way to think about it is to think about it in two dimensions. One is we are working on increasing the diversity of testing opportunities that are available for you, whether that means by finding companies who need different kinds of things tested that are maybe more complicated than your sort of standard e-commerce app. It may also mean different forms of testing. So we've made a significant investment and are continuing to make an investment in broadening the platform so that we can accommodate different kinds of testing. So you'll see, for example, if you're interested in this, you'll see more kinds of user experience testing opportunities that become available for you. Eventually, in 2021, you'll also see opportunities to do things like test automation, which might require a different set of skills than maybe you have now, but which ultimately can be very useful and interesting to your career. So a greater diversity of testing opportunities will be available. But the other thing that we're working on doing is building the platform in such a way that other kinds of opportunities that are not software testing might be available through this platform as well. So we don't know yet exactly what all opportunities are going to be or what they might be. But what we know is that EPAM, which, as we told you, acquired Test.io, they have a lot of ideas for what our community might be able to do for them, and they're eager to try out some of them. So we have a lot of networking to do internally to EPAM to find the people who are willing to invest the time and effort required. But I'm pretty sure there are going to be other opportunities, even outside of software testing, that we make available through this expanded platform. So you're going to be hearing a lot about that from Stefan and team over the year. You'll hear the word Zero probably, because that's the name of the new and more general platform that we've been building. And I think, or at least I hope, that over time you will really get exposure to a lot of different things, and you can choose from a lot more different kinds of opportunities that stimulate you, or that pay you what you want, or that help you move forward in your career. So that's a little bit of the 2021 outlook. So I hope that was at least somewhat informative. And if there are questions, happy to take those. So Stefan, why don't you toss me any questions that you want me to answer?
Sounds good. Yeah, Phil, thanks a lot for sharing your personal story. And I think a lot of testers on our platform can relate. I know we have a lot of people that did not study informatics or that did study something else, or did not study at all, and then learned through Test.io what it means to be a software tester. And some of those people are among our team leaders in the meanwhile. So yeah, pretty proud of those people and those stories. So yeah, great that you have a comparable story as well.
I am one of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a hacker, so I get a little bit of hack credit.
So my personal question would be, how many of those $10 did you get? How many people paid for this? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I would say probably in the dozens. But one of my proudest moments in software, actually, believe it or not, this is a funny story. So I did all this work in like the 90s. So I think I wrote the product in like 1994 or 95, something like that. So one day I'm at work in 2011. So, 15, 16 years later. And I get an email from somebody who wants support on the product that I had built 16 years ago because she was still using it. She
No
hadn't
way.
found anything better to use in 16 years. Isn't that great? I was so proud of that. It made my year.
That's
So,
an awesome story. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we have a pretty good question from DJ Rosas in the chat. He wants to know if the company has any plans to have more presence in South America and the changes in the software industry, bug difference between Java, Ruby on Rails, etc. And let me minimize this. Okay. Where companies are using new languages, therefore new testing needs. So I think this has two components. This question, yeah. Any plans to have more presence in South America?
So yes, we do. We have a lot of community outreach that's actually going on in Brazil, and we have figured out how to, if we see opportunities, we figured out how to contract with people on a more, I guess, a more continuous basis in Brazil. So I think, yeah, we see South America as one of our big growth opportunities. And one of the things that we're
Growth.
seeing,
Yeah. When you say growth, you
gr-
mean related to our crowd, our community?
yeah, related to our community and
Yeah.
related to when we are looking, when EPAM is looking for people that they want to enter into a longer term contract with, we've already done the work to make that happen in Brazil. So, to the extent that there are opportunities like that, South America is definitely on the radar for them.
Yeah, I agree to that. So yeah, we just promoted two team leaders from South America, and yeah, I know there is a lot more talent out there that simply does not know about Test.io. So definitely, we want to discover this this area more, and I would yeah. I personally would find it amazing if we have more community members from South America.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very valuable for our US based customers to have testers that are in the time zone also.
Yeah.
So there's some advantages. And then there was another part of that question.
Yeah, the other part was the changes in the software industry, and the person mentioned the bug difference between Java, Ruby on Rails, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Java and Ruby on Rails and different programming languages don't necessarily affect Test.io as much as maybe the growth in different kinds of mobile applications and different kinds of OTT applications and things like that. So the more different places software needs to run, the more opportunity there is for us. I think that's the big thing that makes a difference, rather than necessarily the programming language that it's written in.
Yeah. Kailash Yoshi is asking, our dear bug analyst, what are the odds that regular testers who are also long-term contributors have opportunities to for job-specific trainings to progress further up?
Yeah, so I think the odds are good. What we're working on several things, but one of them that some folks are seeing already is in the area of user experience testing. So we've been looking for testers to do user experience testing because we've built some specialized things to help do that. But definitely, test automation is something that EPAM is placing a significant bet on for the Test.io platform, especially the Zero platform. And so we want to see who in our community is going to be interested in learning more about test automation and working on test automation. And we want to see how much of it we can do with our community. So if you are interested in that sort of work, I think there will be an opportunity for training and learning and trying it out in 2021.
Yeah, I recently ran a small survey on Discord asking how many of you are interested in this topic of test automation and how many have experience. And yeah, there are a lot of you said that you are interested to learn more about this, and this was a signal for us that we should be on top of providing learning material for you so you can learn about this new field and then explore these new opportunities that we are building.
For Stefan, part of the challenge, just so you know, is there's all these learning materials that exist and have been created and are being created by EPAM, and just making them accessible it turns out to be harder than you might have imagined. But we are working on it, and we know it's important.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Phil. Thanks a lot for answering these questions. We have a bunch more, but I will keep the rest for the end of the show today. So we will pick some of these then. And thanks again, Phil, for sharing the story, for answering the questions. Great to have you here, just hanging out with us in Discord. It feels good to have such a humble CEO running the company.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. It was really fun, and I'll hang out till the end. So if there are more questions, we'll try to get them.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. You can also engage with the community in the text chat if you want to answer questions there. Should be right below the voice channel.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Then let's continue with our next speaker. His name is Marcus, and Marcus is, believe it or not, he is with Test.io since 2012. So in 2011, Test.io was founded in Berlin, Germany, and Marcus joined 2012. He joined as a tester, and then soon became a team leader. I think after some of the other guys. I think slightly after Andre and Thomas joined, but he was one of the first members, one of the first testers on Test.io. And it's fantastic to have him still with us. He's responsible for our Tester Academy that you all know. And he's responsible also for training of new team leaders. And he does it in a pretty amazing fashion. He works on his topics pretty conscious and pretty well. Marcus, please, over to you. Oh, sorry, Marcus. Marcus, can you check if you can speak now?
So yeah, now it works. Thanks. So thank you for your kind introduction, Stefan. So I'm Marcus. I've been with Test.io for so long, and I want to walk you through the changes in the TL team and in the academy and what we plan for 2021. So I think let's jump right in. So despite the fact that we have little working opportunities on tests in Latin America, as you all heard and probably all know. This still does not mean that we don't have TLs in that region. And we did have a lack of team leaders in the region. So when you participated in US tests, then you might have experienced a delay in response in the test chat. And so that was one of the factors we took into consideration to decide we need more staff in that area. So this year we hired 2 new TLs from the community. As Stefan already said, it's Charlie and Luis. Charlie is from Brazil and Luis is from Peru. So they are heavily supporting us in the US time zone. And yeah, if there will be any opportunities in Latin America, then we already have the staff for it. So yeah, and since the team grows bigger year by year, we continuously have to work on standardization problems, because team leaders sometimes work in a different way, make different decisions, which is absolutely natural to some degree. But it's of course our responsibility to bring them on the same page and to let them make more equal decisions, because you, of course, as testers in tests, you want to face some continuity and not have different people making different decisions all the time. So that's something we've worked on in 2020 and will be continuing to work on in 2021. For example, in 2020, we reworked the TL guidelines. We have an internal document and updated it heavily to get all the changes that were made in 2020 out to all the TLs and to make them aware of them. For 2021, for example, we plan to sharpen the bug assessment between TLs so that regardless of who the TL is, decisions are more equal, more common, and so the diversity is not as high. And at this place, I want to also say we hear your feedback, and your feedback in the support chat, for example, was that you do not receive enough requests, or sometimes bugs get rejected too early and too fast. So that's something we took seriously, and we made up our minds on how to change that in the next year at least. So the solution is there, and it will be presented towards the beginning of the year, I believe. It will include more requests being sent to you. Of course, that does not guarantee that you can get away with more things. That's, of course, not what we are aiming towards, but it's that you receive more requests for your very honored work. And what we also want to do is we want to reject less reports, especially without a request. So there will be a new straight rejection rule in place next year as well. And this is actually a win-win-win situation for team leaders, but of course also for Test.io. Everyone has benefits with these changes. And so I'm personally really not proud, but really excited to see the effects it has on the community. So yeah, please stay tuned, and I'm 100% sure you will love working on this platform even more, and it will be more pleasant experience for you. But you will receive the details later when it will be announced, of course. So something else I'm working on is Academy. We are planning on releasing Academy, also make it easier for you to work on the platform, to grasp certain concepts better, to understand what Test.io or what customers expect from you. We also will be focusing on preparing new testers, which might not be too relevant for you now. You probably have been on the platform for a while, but as you can probably remember back from when you started out as testers, you had to, it took some time to understand how the platform works and what rules to obey, and so on. But after a while, you of course figure it out, and we want to make it easier for testers, for greenhorns, for newbies on the platform. So, for example, there will be an academy to prepare your workstation. It's of course always good to have rules, which we have in the bug report requirements article, but this is, in our opinion, not enough. We want to give you a hands-on article to tell you step by step what you need to do to show the current date, for example, to make sure the URL bar is visible, or if you have to record sound for usability tasks, how you do that effectively, so you don't spend too much time on these problems or run into rejections and so on. So we will be releasing new articles, making sure everything becomes even easier than it is maybe right now. Another topic for Academy articles of how do you... We realized that we have to put a lot more energy into that to explain for which reasons your reports can be rejected and how to effectively prevent these rejections. So if you simply stick to this information, then you will not run into the rejections. And so by spending the same amount of hours, participating in the same amount of tests, you will, at the end of the day, end up with more payout at the end of the month. So that's also something we are, of course, interested in. We want you to be successful here and be happy, of course. And as you maybe know, we have a lot of articles, but some of you have asked for more examples, more videos. It's of course good for people who like to read and learn by reading, but visual learners, so more examples, videos, and pictures will help them grasp concepts better. Yeah, so that's it from the TL and Academy side of view. And at this point, I want to say thank you all for providing your feedback in the support chat, for example, where I probably talked to some of you this year. This has a tremendous effect, and we hear your feedback, we take it seriously, we discuss it every week. Stefan, Olga, and Frederick. So we really try to make a difference and improve the platform every single day. So thanks again for your feedback, and please keep doing that. It has an effect and it is really helpful. So I wish you all the best for 2021, and I'm in everything that will change, of course. And I hope to sometime maybe meet one or the other of you in some offline local community event.
Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, we actually planned to meet in Prague this year, but yeah, in spring this year it was clear that this live event will not happen. So yeah, we still want to do it, and we will try to have some live event, some offline event, as you called it, Marcus, in 2021. Okay, I just took a look, and Phil is happily answering questions in the channel. Maybe not all questions are suitable, or Phil might not be the best to answer all of these questions, but please do post them, and we will come back to the questions later. You can also ask Marcus questions. We have at the end of the presentation, we have a small section for questions, so we will be happy to answer some of them there. All right, let's look back at what happened in the community in 2020. First of all, we have to mention that Discord is a big success for us. We understood, and thanks Genia for making this a success. This is basically your baby, and Genia fought hard for making Discord a success, and we have some impressive numbers to share. We have more than 1,600 members in total. We have 270 weekly visitors, 31 weekly new members, and 81 people who communicate regularly in our Discord. I mentioned Evgenia before, and she also ran some pretty successful content this year. For example, the Data Pop quiz, which was pretty popular among you. I saw a lot of people contributing, and thanks for interacting with us here. Thanks for making this place alive. It's not only about the content that we create or that the content team does create. It's more about these interaction and about the content that you create and the questions that you ask in the channel and the answers that you give to new testers in the channel. So yeah, it's on all of us to make Discord alive and a nice place to be, to hang out, and to exchange, to make new friends even. So yeah, thank you for that. Another topic that was covered already was the testing cup. This was super successful, and we will definitely have another testing cup in the next year. We also received a lot of good feedback about the interviews that we do. This is an example of an interview with one of our developers, Fabien. Great that you also shared the feedback that you like these interviews a lot. We also regularly interview team leaders about some personal things and about what makes a great tester. So yeah, we received feedback from you that this was received very well from your end, and you like this content. So we will continue to share this content with you next year. Then another event or initiative that was super successful was the meme competition. And here you can see the winner meme from Celine from the Philippines. Thank you for submitting this. It's a very wholesome meme, and I liked reading it a lot. It describes a lot of the reality working on Test.io, but it also has some positive elements, and I think all of us sent through different emotions, but eventually made us cheer up, and it received the most emoji reactions, so it was the winner for 2020. Celine, please bear with us. The t-shirt you will receive takes a while until you receive it, but we will make sure that you will receive it. Thanks to everyone for being so active with this competition. We saw tons of good memes. We shared it with the internal colleagues, and they all liked it a lot. And they all laughed a lot about the memes and enjoyed it. So yeah, thanks for submitting your memes, and thanks for making this initiative so successful. Yeah, and the last picture, which was visible on the slide before, was about a content that was shared by AV Master. AV Master, and this is a great example how you as community members make this Discord so special, because the best content is made by you, for example in the memes competition, and the content that is provided by people like AV Master. It was just great to see those giffies about the different experienced testers. Overall AV Master and others like Odile, and who wrote the hymn for the testing cup, that was amazing to listen to. And thanks to everyone who shares content, who shares something with the community, maybe some pictures of your last hiking trip or something else. That's awesome to see, and it cheers a lot of us up when we see this content in our channels. the community reporters and Discord moderators, I see a lot of familiar faces. For example, I see Storm, I see Chris373, Nicola and Zorika, of course, Kailash, Sablina, Charlie, Mai, Leo from South America, and Tony, our team leader. Sorika, you you are part of the team and you wanted to add a few words about this team. Oh, can you check? Can you speak now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now it works.
Okay. It is really nice to see all of those people in one place. And I must say that 2020 was a very productive year. Our community reporters did their best to help testers to grow with the educational posts they shared. It is absolutely amazing. They have covered various subjects from bug report attachments, testing tools, picking the right severity of functional bugs, writing a disputes, and understanding the card feature. The feedback we've got was very positive, and we have got some suggestions on what should we focus in the future. Having known how much you appreciate our work gave us a lift, and we will do our best to provide even a better content in months to come. I must say thank you for choosing to stay with us and fight for a better future for all of us. I wish everyone a wonderful 2021 and happy bug hunting.
Thanks, Sorika. Yeah, well said, well phrased. There's a lot of effort going into this material, and all of us hope that you can improve your skills with this, that you learn something. And like Sorika said, thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for every emoji that you click. It helps us to understand if the content that we prepare is enjoyable for you and relevant for you. So continue doing that, and thanks to all of you. So, what will we focus on in 2021? Education will be a big topic. I know Jenya is very keen on developing new courses, making Test.io a platform where you can learn and where you can really start with whatever learning level, experience level you are. We will have another memes competition. I think this was successful enough to run it again. We will also have more data pop quiz, and we will have more interviews with Test.io colleagues and team leaders. It's also pretty nice content that you all like. We will have another testing cup for sure. We don't know what exact format we will do, but we liked it a lot how it went, and we hope you join a second time too. We also just have the second or first big live event here in Discord, and we want to use Discord more for events. So and we want to also have we want to make content, we want to make learning content for you. So we already received some ideas about having Q&A sessions with team leaders here. We could have webinars where we explain something about, for example, test automation here. So we want really Discord to be the place where we have regularly events and where we share our best practices. Something that Phil mentioned already is about more tasks that you can expect next year. So we will have more UX testing tasks, I said it a bit carefully because it will not explode in the amount of work that will be handed over to you. But we are building something kind of new, and that's all I can say about it for now. This will result in more, in potentially more tasks for you. Something that will probably be bigger next year is the topic of test automation. Phil spoke a little bit about it, and yeah, we will make it our mission to share as many learning material as possible to you. If you already have experience in test automation, you will probably find some gigs, some tasks for you to do. But we don't want to leave out the people that are interested and want to learn about it. So we will do our best to share learning material with you. And we hope this is just an example of 2 tasks that we will add to you as freelancers next year. And there's a lot more things. For example, accessibility testing, streaming device testing, localization testing, all of these different kinds of testing we will try to bring to you as good as we can. Of course, we are dependent on how the year goes, on what the customers want, but yeah, you can expect a lot more. We had a very successful 2020, and we will have an even more successful year next year. I'm quite sure. So yeah. On this slide, you will see our brand ambassadors. I don't know if you're all aware what brand ambassadors do. So let me start from the very beginning. Brand ambassadors help us to promote Test.io in their regions. One of the most successful brand ambassadors is Nikola, for example. He helps us to promote Test.io in Serbia, and he does it pretty well. We also have brand ambassadors in the US with Peggy, in Brazil with Charlie, in Vietnam with Mai, and for Germany is Robert. So yeah, all of these brand ambassadors that we work closely with help us to promote Test.io and grow our community. So yeah, thank you for your amazing work in 2020, and we do look forward to work with you next year. Yeah, on this slide we can see the Tiger Corn owners for this year. We are happy that you like this initiative a lot, and we saw already a lot of nice interaction between testers and team leaders. It's great to see how many nice words go back and forth, and how many of you value the others' work. I think the last person who received the TigerCon was Kia. He received it from Miroslav, and it's great to see that you appreciate each other so much, and it's also great to see testers handing it over to team leaders and vice versa. So we are happy to have this initiative, and we want to definitely continue with it next year. Something or someone that we wanted to highlight, it was very important for Angelica and me. Angelica told me frequent times that it's a pleasure to work with Sorika. So this quote could be also on the slide here. And one day Sorika was just here and just was part of the Test.io community. And she, from the very first day, she was very active in this in the community and in Discord. And Zorika, you are amazing. It's amazing to work with you. You are so proactive in being part of this community. You have a lot to share. You are very passionate about what you're doing. And let me read the quotes on the slides here. From Jenya: I couldn't be more grateful for having such passionate community members like you. From Charlie: Zorika is undoubtedly exceptional, coming from a totally unrelated and amazing professional background, big life experience, and a caring heart. She always thinking of how to make our community better and how to work through together as a team. I'm immensely happy to have the chance to read, and get to know her as a person every day. From our team leader, Andre: Zorika is an outstanding member of our community, passionate about testing from the beginning and both in test cycle chats and Discord, as also always eager to help others in a polite way, like a caring mother. From Nicola: community would not be the same without you, Zorika. Yeah, like I said before, it's amazing to have community members like you in our Discord, in our community, and yeah, it was important for Angelica and me and the whole community team to have a slide dedicated to you. So thank you, Zorika. All right. Before we close today's event, we want to take the time to answer questions. Some of you have already been busy asking questions, and just keep in mind we want to have a limit on the amount of questions that we will answer. So we keep the event nice and short. So happy to answer some of your questions. Jenya, would you be so kind and read some of them?
Yeah, I was trying to, but I think Phil has covered most of them.
Okay.
There are some questions from the beginning before Phil joined and be the hero of questions. So maybe you could answer some of this.
I'm only answering the ones I think I have any standing to answer. So there are some that I skipped.
Yeah. So Stefan, then the question for you: what will happen to the Krill payment processor in the new year? Is there any possibilities to still have it available?
Oh, I thought that is a question for you, Jenya.
Well, I can ask and answer the question.
Okay.
If you want me to, like I said in the announcements, this Skrill is still available for you, and you can continue request payments with Skrill until further notice. When we decide to stop offering Skrill, we will warn you in advance, a couple of months in advance, so you can prepare. And it will have to happen, unfortunately, because of the regulations. But we will definitely introduce a new payment method, and we did several surveys with you, and we are in contact with a couple of payment providers that could be an alternative to Skrill. For the time being, you can continue using Skrill, and when there are changes, we will warn you in advance. Yeah.
Thank you.
So another question, it is known that Testeo needs more resources to continue developing its platform. Are there going to be opportunities for junior software developers that want to gain experience in Ruby on Rails?
This would be best to answer by Jan. It would be... Oh, I have a small echo on some side.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe from you. Okay, thanks. Jan, our CTO and co-founder, would be best to answer his questions. And I know that he would love to have more Ruby on Rails developers. He does not care if people are junior or how senior they are. So most important for him is that people are passionate about what they are doing, and then comes seniority. He prefers to have full stack developers, so people that know how to code backend and frontend. It is for us. So being part of EPAM, it is not easy for us to hire directly on our project on Test.io. The structure is a bit different, but I will remember your name and everyone else who is experienced with Ruby on Rails, because we have a real bottleneck about Ruby on Rails developers, because EPAM only has a limited amount of Ruby on Rails developers. So if you are interested and have some experience with Ruby on Rails, please reach out to us and let me see if I can arrange something.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. And then another question, DJ Roses is interested about the brand ambassador path. How can one become a brand ambassador?
By applying, basically. First of all, we are so to lower your expectations. We for some countries it works naturally for us to grow. And then for some other countries, we have a lot of demand, but it's not as easy for us to grow. Those countries are, for example, USA and Germany, where we have a good amount of testers, but we also have a lot of customers. And the customers from those regions want to have testers from their regions, because sometimes the software is only available in their native language, or only if you are located there, or you need to have a US telephone number, or you have a German ID card. So that's why we are focused on these countries. DJ Rosas, I will reach out to you. I guess you are from South America, which is an interesting region for us. But as of now, we are kind of good on brand ambassadors. We would be open to make an exception to add more. So let's have a chat about this. But for all of you, keep in mind that not all regions are top priority for us. So we will not be able to hire 20 brand ambassadors out of the sudden. So bear with us there. And you will hear from us if we look for brand ambassadors for a specific region. Then we will reach out to you and let you know that there is an opportunity in this.
Thank you, Stefan. And I think another interesting question is, I'd like to know whether there is any potential chances for team leader posts for experienced people in the Asian region.
For team leader posts,
for team leader position in Asia.
Definitely. We decided to hire team leaders from the pool of testers, and we will continue to do so. There is no way we will decide else. So we will always promote testers to team leaders, because it has just so many advantages. The testers are already experienced with the academy and all the rules behind Test.io. We know from experienced testers they are passionate about Test.io, so it has many advantages. And a lot of the team leaders that we promoted this year, like Nicolas, I think Ivan, Julia, we also promoted this year. and now Louis and Charlie, they all showed amazing results, and they know how it feels in the shoes of testers. So long story short, we will hire more team leaders next year. I would estimate about 5, 6, maybe even up to 10. So we will offer team leader positions. Ideally, you are experienced with Test.io already. Ideally, you are a great tester. Or you should be close to a great tester. If you have other responsibilities, or if we notice you in our Discord, for example, in a positive way, that will be also helpful for your potential promotion.
That's great news. I bet a lot of testers are happy about this opportunity. So it's great news coming from you, Stefan. And so there's another question from tester Anand. Will there be standard time at which test cycles will start? Currently, they start at random.
Yeah, and we will, and that will even be more random moving forward. We have customers all around the world, or basically we have them focused in 2 time zones, but there are exceptions where customers or the development team of our customers are in other regions, so they start their tests at different times. We put a lot of effort in building an international in an international team. So we have a very international pool of team leaders. We are aiming to build our community as international as possible on all regions, and this is not only amazing to have, or to it's not just an amazing feeling to be part of such an international community. It also allows our customers to set up tests whenever they want. So this will continue, and we are moving in a direction where we even have less restrictions for our customers. In fact, we just did that. So we understand that not every test cycle is in your ideal time or time zone. I also know that some of you spend their nights testing software, and I understand that can be challenging when you don't get enough sleep. But we cannot help with that. And instead, we hope with the amount of tests we have on the platform that you have a project running, a test running at every time of the year. So you probably noticed your dashboard was only rarely empty this year. So we just hope to grow as much as possible, so that whenever you want to work, you can find some work.
Yeah, thanks. And we have a time for a couple more questions, right? There's an interesting question from Tester Magic Wand. So she says, the platform has a lot of great testers now. Is there any ranking for testers to conquer after reaching the great tester title? I mean, longer career path.
There's I would say the sky is the limit. So from a great tester, you can be promoted to become a team leader, or work with us as a brand ambassador. We also have had 5 people hired this year to full-time positions with EPAM. So, and EPAM has offices all around the world. If that is your goal, if you want to be in a full-time position eventually and have no longer work as freelancer, there will also be opportunities. As always, I cannot promise these opportunities to all of you, but definitely some of you will experience the joy of these opportunities next year. So yeah, in pretty much a lot of different directions, we will have opportunities, whether it's about becoming team leader, whether it's about becoming a full-time, about getting full-time hired by EPAM. If you become a team leader, there are also different teams the team leaders are part of and are active with. So this is then possible as well.
Great. And so I think it will be the last question. I think the rest was covered by Phil and Marcus and others. Thank you for answering. This is a tricky one though, Stefan.
Okay.
So I thought that there is a list of 500 known bugs in some of the test cycles. Can we do something about it? Because testing becomes hard while working with 500 known bugs.
500. Wow. That is quite a lot. I have not seen a test cycle yet with that many known bugs. It becomes hard, and we understand this, and it also becomes not the best experience for customers. It's pretty hard to find new bugs, and it's not easy to understand for the customer if really was tested, if there are no new bugs reported. So this is a challenge for us, and we found some ways to address this. For example, sometimes we remove the complete known bug list. Sometimes we recommend the customer to use test cases instead, or add user stories to their test, so they know they have a guarantee it was tested. But this is a big challenge. Long known bug lists are a big challenge for customers, for CSMs, for you as a community, for team leaders, and we already started discussing, like forever, we are discussing alternatives to the known bug list, but we did not yet find a really good alternative. We have some concepts in mind, so Genya, this is a big puzzle for us to solve next year, I guess, right?
Yes, definitely. And we do plan to address it as well. So hopefully we will have a better answer next year at the end of the event, and probably maybe it will not be a problem.
Yeah. Not only the community team grew a lot. I'm also with Anwar, Olga, Angelica now, but another team that grew in Test.io is the product team. So Genya is only half or partly part of the community team. She's also part of the product team, or mainly part of the product team. And this also consists of 3 people now, 4 even. So there's also more capacity there. And once again, we are thankful for EPAM for allowing this to us. Also, our development team increased quite a lot, and this would all not be possible without being part of EPAM and the great vision they have for us as a company. Okay, thanks, Genya, for reading the questions. Thanks to everyone who contributed. Thanks to you, Phil. Amazing that you stayed until the very end and that you took care of the questions in the channel. That's awesome to see. Angelica, for setting up this whole event and for preparing the slides so well, and for the promotions. You do really good at this, and I know how passionate you are about this. Thanks also to Marcus for presenting today. Genya, for presenting. I think I mentioned your name already. Thanks. It's a pleasure to be part of such an amazing community. and we experienced so much really really amazing things in 2020, despite it's such a challenging year. And let's make no mistakes, I guess the next year will be a big challenge regarding the virus for a lot of us as well. So it's not yet over, and let's stay thankful for how secure a job in the IT industry is, and it's not affecting our business too much. So it's good that we can still work on Test.io. And that counts not only for you, but also for everyone that is an internal employee. Thank you for making this year, despite the challenges, special. Thank you for contributing in all ways. It is a pleasure to be with you and to hang out with you in Discord and to have you as a community. I hope the next year will bring a lot of new interesting challenges and opportunities and fun events and learning opportunities to all of us. And I do look very much forward to this. I wish all of you a really nice end of the year and a happy New Year's Eve and a happy start in the next year. So great to have you, great to be with you, and hope to see you next year as well.